haven't got a menu, got stew and ale. Hey, you! Leave your axe at the door. No good adventures.
Marjorie Taylor Greene now claims she never compared mask mandates to the Holocaust.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna go grab my phone real fast. I'll be right back.
Hurry back, cause probably gonna make the recap.
She's got a one-bedroom apartment. It's not like she's gonna like walk 20 minutes.
Unless Delta rolls higher. Nope. Alright.
Good rolls. Good rolls, everyone.
Get those good
Roll.
rolls out of the way before you get
Yeah.
the real stuff.
Don't want to waste my good rolls on just my initial charisma. Let's see here.
So, Gwyn, what happened last time?
Look at my notes, see if I took any good ones.
It's a good
Refresh
question.
my brain. So we started off still in Waterdeep. What does it say? I thought it was already at. Did I not take notes last time? Nope. Okay. According to my notes, I thought I started off at the jail, but this says I'm still being escorted to the jail.
No, you're there.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
You're
at the
I mean,
very end,
technically,
yes.
Okay.
You're out of jail now.
Okay, yeah. So I was on my way to the jail, and well, I ended up in jail, and Khalas bounced around town trying to find me. She would from one end to the other, asking for me. Went to the dock, and well, they were giving her the runaround, and they wouldn't let me. They wouldn't tell me anything. Eventually, Khalas did pay my bail, which was ridiculously high. But I mean, understandable considering my charges, but whatever. She paid my bail, got me out. We went to the dock and met up with the rest. It was the dock, right? That we met everyone. I think so. Met up with them, and then we went to. Where did we go? Oh yes. Delta. I did not write anything down, but I do remember Delta wanted to go to the library, so she went to the library in the wizards area, and the rest of us went to talk, like look into the fungus, mushroom, whatever guy. We found him, talked to him about going about his wanting protection while he went to collect mushrooms and fungi. He wants to leave relatively soon, so we went, told him that we had one more person coming. We went to go get her. She was still busy, so we waited for her at the tavern. When she was done, she met up with us. And did we actually? I don't think we actually went back. No, we did, because they were talking about. Sorry, I was really tired towards the end last time. We went and we met back up, the four of us, with. Oh, did I write down his name?
Probably McPeterson.
What was it?
It was Demetrius.
No, Demetrius was the boyfriend.
The mushroom guy's
Oh.
boyfriend?
No, the shoot with the piece.
Alright, so what was the
Yes.
mushroom guy's name?
I don't
Thaddeus.
recall. Was it Thaddeus?
No.
Okay.
He had a really
I'm
good
gonna write it.
name for his shop.
I did not write either of these down. I really should have. I'm normally better about that.
Pete.
Does anyone remember his name?
Trying to remember. Oh my god, I gotta mute the app. No, I can't remember.
It was Paven, because his business
Paven.
was Paven Paths.
I'm gonna write that down.
That makes sense.
And he is paying somebody extra for good conversation as well.
And that was Delta, and that's the research she was doing at the library.
Mhm.
And that's pretty much like we were walking along and they were talking about mushrooms. And that's all I can really remember. I was really tired towards the end of like the last third of what we did last time. I had coffee this time, by the way. I will not be tired. I'll take good notes.
All right.
I will be alert.
Yeah, and he is a firbolg who is super into fungus and mushrooms, mycelia, all the fun stuff. He does have a large backpack on his back that he seems to be carrying around that makes his tall height even higher.
He's a
and
what?
He's a firbolg,
I've never
sort
heard
of
that. Okay.
a fey forest people.
Okay.
And you traveled for the rest of the day, and you are, as we ended, the sun was starting to go down, and Paven called it early for a nice time to rest up, so he could get an early start at the morning. So he will start setting up his camp, pulling the large bedroll off of the back of his pack, and getting some starter for a fire. Now, I don't know if you guys have traveled all that often, but I really like to cook up a good mushroom for dinner. You know, make me have a good sleep for the night. How about you guys?
Well, we
What kind
have
of mushroom did you have in mind?
Oh, these aren't anything special like I would find in the mountains. These are just wild mushrooms in the forest.
so
Here.
just whatever you come across.
Anything edible, of course. I wouldn't want to take anything poisonous unless I was having a
Oh,
really
of
good
course.
time.
I'm
Do
sorry.
you like to
I
add
didn't say-
anything? I was just gonna say, do you like to add anything in with the mushrooms? Anything that you suggest to add with them?
Well, anything goes well with mushrooms. I mean, you could add meat if you want. I'm not into meat, but if you really wanted, you could find some animal in the wilderness, cook that up, put it in some stew with the mushrooms. Oh, you got yourself a meal right there.
Sounds delicious. Either way, with or without the meat.
Definitely.
Glad you're finally speaking my language, bruh. So he will do a little flick of a wrist and the fire will light up. And he'll get a skewer out with a twig, start putting some interesting looking mushrooms on the end of it, and poke it into the ground so it cooks slowly.
Excellent.
So, have any of you ever been to these mountains before?
Not that I remember, but I mean, I could have been. I know I've been to Waterdeep before.
Alright, that's fine. I mean, you're my escort, and I'll be your guide through the mountains. We'll find plenty of good mushrooms to feast upon, and so I can bring them back and sell them. I'll try to keep a good eye out for any dangers, but that's not quite my specialty. Hopefully you'll
That's
be able
okay.
to keep your own.
Yep, we're pretty good at that
Oh,
most
right
of
on.
the time.
Oh, sweet. Alright.
Excellent.
Alright. Well, what kind of mushrooms have you harvested? You said you know quite a bit about them. Have you looked at anything exotic or interesting?
I haven't harvested any recently, but let me think. I know I already mentioned the nightlight. That was interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Hmm. Torch stock seems interesting too.
They're
Have you
very
ever had one
similar.
explode on you?
Oh, I don't take fire in. I don't want to.
Well, no, I mean, I know it can be used as a torch.
Those that and nightlight are really like similar. People get them confused sometimes because they've got like a similar look to them and feel. But if you ever had
Yes.
a one explode on you, you learn your lesson, the difference between the two. I try to
Yeah,
I try to only collect nightlights so that when I sell them, people won't explode on accident.
that wouldn't be very good for business.
No, you get me. Yeah. I know it's not really an issue for me or some other people, but do you think anyone has any issues with being in the dark?
I don't think so. I think there's I don't have night vision, but I think there's a couple of us that do.
Jeez.
So we can certainly keep an eye out in the dark easily enough.
Oh, you wouldn't want to walk around blind down there.
Oh no, I have. I can make my own light, and I'll throw up some dancing lights.
Oh, right on. I can't wait to see
And then
that.
just like swirl around him. No, like I actually cast it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, that wasn't me talking. I'm sorry.
Oh, whoa, yeah. Oh, that'll totally help down there. Oh man, these would be like really awesome with some of these shrooms I have. They're not the eating kind that will fill you up, but
Oops, sorry.
they make you have a good time.
I think I can change the color of it. Is that true? I don't see anything in the spell. I don't remember.
I thought you could, but
I thought so too. I feel like we've done it before.
yeah.
So I'll just kind of like have them cycle in like a rainbow or something as they dance around him.
Oh man. Don't start the light show with all your extravagance. I can't can't wait to see more later.
Oh well, it's a cantrip, so we can cast it as many times as we want.
Oh yeah, no problem. All right. He'll take the skewer of mushrooms from the fire and start munching on them.
Most excellent.
Does he look like he's okay? Like they're not tripping him out or anything?
The mushrooms or the
tell?
lights?
The mushrooms. What would I roll for that? I don't know.
Just by looking at him, like, you don't think, because he was talking about special mushrooms to make you have a good time, but those aren't the kind that you want to be eating for dinner, for a meal, and
Okay.
so you can
well, then
deduce
I'll
that
ask,
these are normal
I'll
ones.
ask him to try some.
If you want to try some of his,
Yeah.
okay. Oh yeah.
Oh, I have.
Huh?
I have mushrooms, but I think they just heal a hit point. I don't remember where they came from. But yeah, I want to ask him if I can have a taste of this mushroom dinner.
Oh yeah, no problem. He'll hand you the skewer.
I'll take like a small bite at first to see if I like it, and
Right.
then if I don't feel anything strange, I'll take another, like a larger bite, and hand it back to him.
Alright, you taste it. It's a little sour, bitter, but it's just got the right amount of saltiness to it for a tasty meal.
Oh, those are pretty tasty.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
I grew 'em myself.
How do you grow them? These ones. Do they
Oh,
have
these
to be
ones.
in the dark?
Yeah, I grow them in the basement of my shop.
Ah.
It's got the proper amount of moisture and dankness to it to add the right amount of flavors.
Thanks. Nice. I'll dig around in my pack and fish out one of the mushrooms that I apparently have in there and hold it out to him.
Oh, all right. Where'd you get these? Do you know what these kind are?
I don't remember what kind they are, like what the exact name of them is, but it'll give you some hit points back if you get injured. You know,
Oh.
because there's stuff in the caves and all.
Oh, all right. Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Thank you. He'll take them from you and put them in a side pouch on his pack. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty tired, filled up from these mushrooms. If you don't mind, if maybe one of you keep watch while I hit the hay.
I'm sure we could manage that.
Alright, well, it's another long journey ahead tomorrow, but we'll make good progress, alright? Yeah. Alright, good night, man.
Night.
Right, bro.
Night. Dead.
So he will
Most excellent.
roll up onto his bedroll. And get settled in as the night gets darker. How would you
I'm
like
full of
to
terror.
watch?
I could take the first half if someone wants to take the second half.
I'll take the second half. I'm fine with that.
I will assist Khalas.
You're taking the second half with me, or you're taking the third shift?
I will second half with you.
Oh. Okay.
More sleep for me.
All right. So three of you will get settled in, with Gwyn staying up, keeping watch. Gwyn, make a perception roll.
Okay. Just writing that I take first watch. Let's see here. Perception, where are we looking?
Oh.
All right. You set up camp a little ways off of the main road, and as you're settling in, you start to hear the sounds of nature coming in. Various crickets, and start to see a few fireflies, kind of like just in and out, not very many of them. And after a few hours, you notice over one of the hills of the plains, you notice that a light is kind of flickering there. It sort of appeared out of nowhere, but it seems stationary now.
That's going to be my first question, is if it was moving closer. Okay, is it dim? Is it really bright?
It's dim.
I'm just going to watch it for now. If it seems to be getting closer, because I'm guessing, like, my first guess is that it might be light coming off of, like, maybe a torch or something, and it's like flickering off that, like flames can sometimes do. So I'm just gonna hold where I'm at and watch to see if it gets any closer. But if it's holding for right now and it's dim, I'm not too concerned at the moment. But I am on guard and watching it.
So you're watching this ridge as a slight flicker happens in the distance, and after about half an hour, the light dims slightly, but it's still there, and it's still in the same spot.
Okay. I'm still gonna keep watching that direction just in case someone tries to come towards us, like, in the dark, and the light's getting dimmer so that they can hide better. I just want to be alert.
Okay. Well, for the remainder of your shift, it stays about the same brightness and doesn't move at all.
Okay. Then when my shift's up, I'm gonna go to Khalas and Guryev and be like, "Hey guys, wake up! It's your turn."
Oh, all right.
Um,
Anything happen?
no, not really. But there is a light over, and I'm gonna point to see if she sees it. A light over there. Do you see it?
Do I see said light?
You do. You see a dim light off in the distance.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It was brighter earlier. It got a little bit dimmer. It hasn't moved closer, but I've been watching just in case, someone tries to be sneaky and move towards us.
All right, I'll keep an eye on it. Rest well.
Thank you. I'm gonna go lay down. And I'm just gonna curl up into a ball with my blanket.
All right. Khalas and Guryev roll perception rolls.
Perception.
So, you are watching the night sky. Have the strange light off in the distance, in the corner of your eye, making sure that you keep an eye on it. But you don't notice anything different about the evening. Would you like to do anything while you do your shift?
I'm gonna pull out one of my rations and start eating it.
Okay. Did mushrooms make you put you off your appetite?
Yes. Not a big fan of mushrooms. So I'm just pulling out one of my rations, and it's like some jerky and bread.
Guryev, would you like to do anything?
Not at the moment. I'm just kind of sitting.
Okay. After several hours of your shift, the light from off in the distance dims until it finally fades, and you are once again alone in the evening.
That
It
was
looked like
weird.
it just like got brighter and then dimmed out.
Well, it
did it seem
flashed
like it-
on during
I
Gwynn's
see.
shift, and then it dimmed until it went away.
Did it move?
Yeah, nope.
Okay. About how long was it lit? Or
Well,
How
for
long
your
was it?
shift, it was probably like 3 hours.
3 hours? Okay. And we're pretty early in the morning, right?
Yeah, you're getting there. You can just start to notice twilight is across the sky.
Okay. I'd like to just keep like a mental note of like where it was. Is it towards like where we were headed, or is it behind us, or?
It is further off the road, so you are slightly off the road, and so it's just like beyond where you are. Over a hill and like in a little valley between hills.
I can stay here if you want to go check that out.
No, I am fine. I don't think it was necessary.
All right.
All right.
What do you think of our newfound compatriot?
I mean, he's a job, right?
Yes.
It's money. Hopefully, we'll actually get paid. Especially how we didn't really get paid in the last one.
Pretty sure we just didn't.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could have taken their stuff. We could have taken their boat, or at least their stuff.
I mean,
But-
I did eat some of it, yes.
Well, I guess that's fair then. You received payment.
Partial.
They owe us lunch later. We'll
We're
hunt them
at 10
down.
minutes.
Forget
I don't think I ever want to go back.
Well,
It's
unfortunately,
a silly place.
It's a silly place. We will have to go back because that's where, temples are. And that's where we could take the items to get destroyed.
I mean, we could have the temples relocated.
It
It didn't really seem like it's that big of a town, you know. It kind of just seemed like
was a huge town.
I know. I don't know.
Well, I don't know what other towns there are that we could go to. I mean, what with Baldur's Gate being destroyed and all of that.
I wonder what else will. I don't know if it's our timing or what, but that's the second place to be destroyed.
Maybe it's us. Maybe
Are
we're
we the
like-
bad guys?
It's not that we're the bad guys, but maybe we're being targeted, or we just have really bad luck.
Don't feel like
And we're
I'm that
just-
important of a person to target.
I mean, I guess we're the ones that are finding the items and having them
Well, I
get
mean,
destroyed. Nobody
there's
else
those-
is.
There's those other dickheads. but-
Yes, but they haven't destroyed anything. Have you gained any memories since then?
Well, I don't. I genuinely don't know. I have weird dreams occasionally, but I don't know if that's just me dreaming or if it's memories. Kind of hard to know if something is a lost memory when it is lost.
I guess that's true.
So,
Do you regain the memories when we're sleeping? Or is it when we're awake, like just a sudden flash? Standing, doing whatever, and then suddenly flashback? I've never really thought about it. I guess I've always interpreted it as like what's happening when we're sleeping, but you're making a good point that those just might be dreams.
well, I mean, it's kind of weird because, like, let's say you were just living a regular life and you think about something you did yesterday. At what point is it current and not a memory?
I guess if it's something that we just did, then it becomes a memory because it's past tense. But then these memories that we're regaining, those are memories, but maybe they're not.
I don't know. It's just. I,
Existential crisis.
Are you sure you didn't take any of those mushrooms he had?
think part of
I
the-
definitely didn't.
part of the weirdness is that I don't know how it scales for you guys, but if we lost a proportional amount of memories, I have a lot to make up for compared to you guys.
Well, but also remember, that fellow, Rhaegar, who had lost no memories. He was
Well,
like fresh off the boat, as it were.
He was a
For
sweet
being an
summer
adventurer.
child. It could be that he just does not retain memory, so there was nothing to lose. You know, like I am insinuating that he was really dumb. I mean, he did try to
But
take it.
that's rude.
How many people do you know that tried to fight the tail of a demon?
His heart was in the right place. He was trying to distract the demon, to get it to stop focusing on, like, civilians and such. But anyways,
It's I think it's
are you
Just-
saying that you are questioning this fellow that we're guiding?
no. Yeah,
Is that your
just,
point?
Just wondering.
I see.
He seems like a decent fellow. It's, just think it's kind of weird, that people are carrying on like normal. Like they don't. You get up and you look at yourself in the mirror and you have the memories of somebody who, in my case, was 30 years younger.
I understand. Nobody's
How do
freaking
you
out.
continue? Yes,
It's probably a survival technique.
these people are
It's-
like, "Oh no, my cat is missing," and I'm like, "Yes, but you think you're 15 years old and you're 45." You know, it's just priorities.
Yes. Well, I mean, what could they do, right?
I still don't even know how you and I know each other. The only reason I
Find
ever
out
came
one
with
day,
you,
maybe.
the only reason I ever came with you guys is because I was sitting at the table with you. So I must have thought that it was,
You must have known us. I mean,
well, I mean,
you know
either
us
that or I
now.
thought that you how do I not know that you just let me sit at your table and we just happen to be sitting right next to each other?
I don't. I don't know. That's the thing. We don't know. We don't remember anything. I know that I knew Delta, but she's from my childhood. We've known each other since childhood. I don't know when I met you, if I've ever met you, but I know you now.
There you go.
I mean, we've been together, as a group for what, the last year? That has to account for something. Even if it's not lost memories, those are new memories. And I believe that these new memories that we form are higher than the old memories. Because the old memories are in the past. And let's say maybe I have a memory that I've forgotten that I became evil. But I don't care about that because I am me now.
Well, I think it's different. I think it's not like people necessarily become evil or good overnight. It's a trickle of life making decisions.
Perhaps.
I think it's.
Do you think we
knows?
should abandon this quest then of trying to find these items? Because we're doing it to try and gain back power and memories, but obviously we don't need to follow that path. As we saw with Rhaegar, who was fresh, had no memories lost, was obviously a brand new adventurer, and was building his power.
Or what
Because
if?
there was
What if he found us and realized what we were doing, and he is part of the reason why this is happening, and that's why he never lost any memory.
You think Rhaegar is the big bad? Like
I
the
would.
evil villain?
I wouldn't put it past anybody.
I mean, he did fly off with that demon.
Yep,
Demon
they did
didn't try
elope.
to kill him.
They eloped.
Almost like the demon was there, and as soon as Rhaegar got on, the demon flew off. Like,
Quite
Uh,
convenient.
yes, a very convenient getaway. You raise interesting points.
Just got to play. Someone has to play demon's advocate.
Hmm.
Or
I guess
devil,
you
or
are the
whatever.
most likely candidate for that.
You keep insinuating that the person who I've made an agreement with automatically makes me I don't know.
You're not a bad guy. It's all in fun. It's all jokes. I do have a sense of humor.
It's when you live in the desert for as long as I do, and you do the things that I do for a living. There are only so many people, be it a deities or other individuals that understand or can help you accomplish the goals you seek. One of those was the queen. When he's very jealous. Gesundheit. Again, 3 times. When you claim something and you claim its soul, and something perverse and does that. Do you not want it back?
Are you saying the Raven Queen has your soul?
No. Not it's. I just wanted their things. They were lingering. She had already claimed their soul. And they come back to life in torment. Or they linger around too long and do not find the peace that they seek. She has the claim to their bodies, and I want to claim their things. I put him to rest permanently, and we both get what we want. Doesn't necessarily mean that I follow all of her practices or her teachings, but it mutually beneficial.
As you've said. But have you thought about looking at a new god?
I mean, that's who would you have in mind? Miss, I have forsaken all of my gods because they have abandoned me.
That's not true. I found Tyr.
After shedding quite a few.
Yes, I mean, I don't know who my original god was, because last I remembered, I had no god yet. I hadn't chosen anyone. But I have chosen now, and that is Tyr.
Do you think you go back when you figure out why you were there in the first place? Or
I
do you
don't
think
know.
you
I think it
grown
will
too
be.
much?
I think it will be a bridge that I will have to cross one day. And
Do you think you could go back? What would have to happen?
I guess it depends on the god. But I know Tyr is my god.
What was it before?
I didn't have a god. I
Oh,
just tested out a bunch of gods. Like I would just like
A little-
flirting,
little
as it were.
sampler platter.
Yeah, I was flirting with the idea.
The god of the month. It's like book of the month. Oh, it's a book of the month. Religious book of the month club.
More like a word of the day kind of thing. Like, today I will praise Tempest. Like, today I will praise Shar. Like, I just worship different gods. So I don't know who my original god was.
Why do
from
you?
my memories.
Do you have any idea why you yearn so much for someone to put your faith in?
Well, I guess partially it's because of how I was raised. I guess there's a sense of I feel like I can't believe in myself, so I should believe in others. And who lives off of beliefs are gods and deities. And they are the one that are most acceptable of a believer.
Most of the gods that I know just they don't. They seek praise but give nothing back.
Well, I mean, my god gives us power. He gives me the ability to cast magic.
Give you a purpose.
He does give me a purpose, yes. A life creed.
That's what you fear? Is not having purpose?
I
Or
would not be anything. I am a being that was cast aside as an infant, and therefore I obviously had no purpose to begin with. So it is my God and my faith that gives me purpose.
think you
Gives
sell
me
yourself.
a reason to live.
I think you sell yourself quite short if you think you have nothing to offer outside of the god you choose to devote yourself to.
I don't know what I would be without my God, without my faith. I might not be this. I might not be who I am today. I don't even know if I would be alive. But perhaps that's a talk for another time. Will Rita wake Delta up for the third shift, or are we just also taking the third shift?
As you're
Don't know.
speaking, the sun is starting to peek over, getting, making the sky the pink hues, yellow, orange.
Alright, well, we might as well take the third shift. It's practically day. The sun's almost up. I'm gonna start the fire, get more wood in it so it's going.
Okay. You gathered some materials and relight the fire that was extinguished the night before with magic, so that the minimum amount of wood was burned. And as you're kind of like picking stuff up, you notice that over that hill, you see a light trail of smoke as the light is starting to hit the side of the hill, over the other side. But you wake up the rest of your group, including Paven. Hello?
Yes.
That was a question, sorry.
Oh, yes, why certainly. Rise and shine, everybody. Get up. We've got places to be. Rise and shine. Here comes the glory born.
Alright, well, Paven will wake up and... Oh
Early.
man. That was great. Oh, great night's sleep. How was the night? Anything going on?
Not
Yeah.
particularly.
A little
There was some
cold.
weird light, but nothing strange. And we obviously weren't attacked.
Well, sometimes I can sleep through some loud commotion, but I'm glad that nothing happened to my faithful security guards in the night.
Absolutely.
Well, if you'd like, I see you've made a fire. I guess we should eat some grub and head out, unless you want to wait for something. Sometimes people like to get started on their day a little slower.
I go to bed dressed so I wake up ready to go.
Alright, alright. Well, some of my people like to, commune with nature before they get ready for the day, just so that they can get started with some, appropriate magical powers throughout the day. But, if we're ready, let's eat and head out.
Autobots.
So you have a quick hot meal, probably with bacon, yes? With the pan of bacon frying.
Mhm. Yep.
The pan
Alright.
of searing.
And Paven quickly roasts a couple more marshmallows, mushrooms, and packs them away for a snack along the way. And he hefts his huge backpack onto his back, and he's ready to go.
Excellent.
So you start heading further up the road.
Trying to keep an eye on where the smoke was. See if anything
Okay.
appears from that direction or whatever. Just for as long as it can be within eyesight.
Well, after a little bit of time, the smoke diminishes into nothingness, and there's no other trace of what was there the night before. But you head further up the road, through the hills. As you're getting closer to the Sword Mountains, the hills are starting to get taller and more dense, and seems like as you get further on, the hills start turning into mountainous areas, a little less grassy, a little more rocky, and as you make a turn on the road, from a distance you see a figure walking on the road towards you. This figure is cloaked and appears to have a bow staff as a walking stick, and they are walking in your direction along the road, probably headed towards Waterdeep. Would you like to do anything before you get any closer? Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Talked, but the mic was muted. I just want to be on guard, but not do anything unless provoked.
Okay. As you get closer to this figure, you can see that almost their entire face is covered by this cloak. It seems that they have dark gloves, and so you can't really see their skin per se as they walk along the road. But the one distinguishing feature you do see of this person is they have a large beak protruding from the hood of their cloak.
But how tall are they?
They're pretty tall. They're about 6'8" around there, like almost 7 feet.
Do they look like they're looking at us, or like they're just walking straight forward?
You can see that they are they're looking down at the ground as they're walking forward to sort of conceal their eyes, but the beak protruding is just kind of going back and forth as they walk.
And do they have like a quiver of sorts on their back, or is it just the bow
It's a bow
that they're
staff.
walking with? Oh, okay. I
So
got you.
BO staff.
Yeah. Hmm. Interesting.
Paven will speak up. Oh man, it's about time we saw another traveler on the road. I know this is an uncommon place to go, but I like to see people coming and go. Different stories they tell, offering mushrooms to them, you know, as a sign of peace and friendship.
Well, I mean, if that is something you want to do, we can probably spare the time.
Oh, all right. Well, he'll speak up. Oh, traveler! Welcome to our party. We're heading off into the mountains for some foraging, but we do have some to spare along the way. Would you like to partake on my delicious mushroom? And when Paven speaks up, the unfamiliar figure will kind of turn its head to the side but continue to look down as it slows its pace walking towards you.
Keeping its like face turned away though.
Down still.
Oh, down. Are both hands out?
One is on the staff, one is down at its side.
Does it look like it's clutching anything with the other hand?
No, but you do notice that it has a single-sided satchel on it. On its side.
On the right side?
On the left. So it has the bow staff in the right, and on the left, behind its hand, it has a satchel.
Okay.
Oh, I think it hurt us. Maybe if we approach, I don't know. I haven't had this kind of situation before. People are usually pretty friendly when I offer like mushrooms.
I mean, they could be deaf, you never know.
Oh, you're right. I didn't even think of that. Oh, but they'd have a hard time seeing anything if they're looking down all the time.
Maybe they are looking for books.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I'm glad you're a free thinker in this party. Don't see a lot of those in Waterdeep.
Definitely for my job.
You are closing your distance to the creature now, the humanoid. It's about 50 feet away, and would you like to do anything before you get any closer? Are you just ready for any sudden movements?
Any sudden aggressive movement.
I'm not really expecting anything to happen, but
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised. Do you think it's odd that they are by themselves?
Yes, solo traveler. Well, the distance between your party and the creature will close until you're about 15 feet away, and Paven is like trying to get his head down, looking at the creature's eyes, not really seeing much as you walk closer. And when you get to about this distance, the humanoid creature will finally speak up. Alright. Travelers. It's not long. I haven't. It's been a while since I've met such a group of people. It will click its beak.
Creepy.
uh,
Hello.
Are you related to Timmy?
that name is not familiar.
think it might be quite rude to think or to suggest that all things that look mammalian are kinku.
Is he not Kenku?
No. Judging by the way that they speak and how tall he is, or she, it is not a kinku.
I am a wanderer of and collector of stories. If you give me a good story, I will reward you with something valuable. Oh yeah. Oh, I got a great story. So, before you can even like speak up in response. Oh man, so I was in the mountains and I was looking for mushrooms, and like I was having these really good mushrooms. They give you really nice visions and they make you see both the past and the future. But
I'm just gonna go sit down. Like this is gonna be a while.
But when I was reaching down for some more, I looked up and there was a giant eye looking down on me. And then I blacked out and I woke up and it wasn't there. What was that get me? That gives you quite the fright, wouldn't you say? Oh, yeah. Don't I get anything for the story?
Yeah.
Well, while it was interesting, I do not deem it worthy of an item. Anyone else have something of useful, some story I may keep track of for future travelers I meet?
I want to tell him the story of when we all almost died.
Which time?
And there was when there was a giant demon, and we were just
Which time?
like, we're gonna go kill it, and then Cassie's character died.
Kata?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Kata.
Okay. You don't have to recount it, but you managed to tell the story of the children, the Minotaur that left after having to suffer such pain, and the ranger that was slain, and her tiger that was very forlorn when it happened. I want you to roll a persuasion.
Open up the sheet. Boo.
Seems also interesting. But I think you could work on your deliverance and detail. It will not bring much in tavern or pub as well as much
I
of an
mean-
audience.
Our lack of attention to detail is what got us into the situation in the first place, so.
Very true. Well, I will give you another chance at telling a story worthy of an item.
What kind of stories are you looking for? Can you tell us one of your own?
I am a collector of stories. I would like to hear yours. My stories are not the ones being judged.
Well, I just want to know what kind of a story that you deem worthy.
Well, a story that will bring a grand audience in public places, one that maybe enthrall its listeners and enchant those who wish to know.
How
Do-
about Boulder's Gate and the demon that came through? We could tell about the destruction of Boulder's Gate.
We could.
Do you want to tell that story?
Uh,
I mean,
well,
we
that
have-
sounds like it could work as like something he would enjoy, and people would want to hear.
I think of like what all we've done. There's
Was my character? Ooh, my character.
Sharknado. What else did we do?
After the shortly after Gwyn joined the party and after we crossed the sea, we went to that one crazy abandoned city where we got the box. That would be an interesting, or town, city, can't remember exactly how big it was, but either way it was abandoned.
Or the town that was in perpetual snowstorm that had the rising dead
Yeah,
with the TARDIS.
yeah. That would be an interesting story as well. And not one that many would know because, well, nobody ventured there and people who ventured there tended to die.
Or if you want one that like mystifies people, it could be you were not there, but a long time ago we came across a secret lair hidden in the dunes of the desert that disappeared as quickly as it appeared for us.
Are you telling that story?
While we are like, while her and I are, and everyone else are talking about like the various stories that we could tell, can I see if any of them piques the interest of the traveler?
As you are speaking, it will kind of dart its head back and forth while still looking at the ground.
Does it seem like when we start talking about any of them, though, that it kind of like leans in a bit, per se? Or is it.
It's patiently waiting an actual story, because you are just speculating what story to tell.
I don't know. Which one do you think is. Does anyone else have
ones-
any opinion on which ones are good?
The ones I suggested, I think that the town with the rising dead and the TARDIS
Okay.
box is probably the most interesting, and the one that he's less likely to hear from someone else.
I think the desert, the secret temple in the desert, is pretty good. I think that's one we could tell.
Mm-hmm. That would be a good one too.
Well, I say pick one and roll persuasion. Whomever would like to.
Who has the best persuasion? Let's
Not
see.
me.
What do I have? Persuasion, I have +2. Anyone else have better?
I don't think it's. I mean,
Hopefully I have a good roll because that's
Some-
really not much of an advantage.
I will assist on your persuasion.
Some people have inspiration too.
True.
I don't know who does have
True.
inspiration. I don't
I
think
have-
I do.
I
I
have
don't remember.
inspiration. I have a 4 in persuasion.
Do you want to try see if you have a good roll?
Sure. I'm
Sounds-
telling the tale about the desert.
Yeah, that one works. It's a good suggestion.
I will give you guidance.
I'm going to also include the part of us attempting to camp in the desert, and then the animals were startled by the sudden sandstorm. The horse getting away, and me going after it, but I startled the horse and then was covered in sand. I'm gonna include all of that too.
Okay.
In 1 minute, so I can use I don't know. Can I actually give her guidance?
Yeah, I mean, you are,
I'll
It-
also spare the dying, just in case.
you will,
good. We were in the
be
desert,
speaking.
where there was supposedly a magic item that we were looking for, a legendary item. And it started out decent, but then suddenly the sand picked up, and a storm came out of nowhere. So we tried to take shelter as best as we could, but the animals were startled by the storm, and I continue on.
Can I use thaumaturgy to like?
I got a
um,
9.
Would you like to use your inspiration?
D4, right?
The guidance is there, so it's a +4. But
Oh, the guidance. Okay, nice. I was gonna say, it's like, I rolled a 2. Sure, I'll use inspiration.
I was gonna use thaumaturgy, so every time you describe some kind of like effect or something, the
21.
wind-
there you go. Okay, so you have this long story of having to trek across the desert, keeping close to the sea, and then the windstorm kicking up and the elemental showing up shortly after, and you deciding to dart in after it to escape the storm, and finding this whole elaborate temple under the sand where you attempted to escape the dangers as they became as the people, or as the inhabitants became aware of your presence, and your narrow escape and saving your bull friend. And as you're speaking, the creature will like nod its head, and kind of like turn to the side, and again continually looking at the ground, but just back and forth with their head. And as you finish, it will say, "That was quite the story. I deem it worthy of rare item." And it will take its free hand and put it into its satchel, and it will produce a small pearl in its hand. "Use wisely. It is quite powerful."
What is it?
And it will offer to you.
I'll take it, and I'll be like, what is it, as I look at it?
tries to bite it.
Shatter your teeth.
Wow.
It's,
Ready?
it's an item that can restore one's magic if you request it. Though it has a limited use, it can be used daily.
Well, thank you for this item.
It will
And I
once.
hope
It is a pearl of power.
Pearl of Power.
You can look that up in the compendium. But it will reach back into its satchel and pull out a tome and open it to a certain spot, flip through a few pages, and will make a quick motion of its hand, and a spectral hand will begin to write in the tome as it records your story, adding it to the collection. Very good, yes. Thank you for your story. It will be told throughout the land. What is the name I shall be give out as the author of this story?
What do we call ourselves?
The Knights of Neat.
The Knight of Neat. How about the author is DGKG?
Alright. That is an unusual name, but it will be told. Thank you once more. We'll flick its wrist once more and shut the tome, put it back into its satchel. I will be off now, and good luck on your future stories. And it will start to walk, continuing on to Waterdeep.
That was odd.
Well, sometimes you come across weird people. It's not polite to judge.
I suppose that's true.
So, what does that do?
It says it's a pearl of power, is what he called it. I'm sure I have to be attuned to it, maybe? I don't know. Have I seen a pearl of power before, or can I look up in my library of my mind palace?
So you want to see what it does without attuning to it?
I guess I don't know if it has to be attuned. So it says wondrous item, uncommon. Oh, it does. Requires attunement by a spellcaster. So yeah, I'm just trying to see if I've ever heard of one before.
You have heard of it. You've heard of items that regain magic without rest or anything like surge of magic, that kind of thing. So special items, yes, you have heard of something like this.
Okay. I know it's a thing that exists. I don't know. Does anyone else? Is anyone else wanting this? I'm not. I don't think I'd be able to use it.
Can you post it in chat? Or can I?
Yeah.
What'd you say it was?
Here, I'll post what it is.
Pearl of Power?
It's a pearl of power.
Yeah, found it.
Um,
And the pearl is
it's
on your
just because
person.
I am maxed out on all of my attuned items.
Am not attuned to anything that I'm aware of. I could take it if nobody else does.
Sure.
Plus,
I'll hand it to Gwen.
because it restores power once a day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it
So-
restores a spell slot.
Spell slot. Okay, spell slot. Gotcha.
It's
I'd have to
if the
read through the
expended
thing.
if the expended spell slot was 4th level or higher, the new slot is 3rd level.
Okay.
Look at this terrifying creature.
It's not very nice to say about Paven.
Got huge fangs.
Alright.
Unfortunately.
So you have this item and you continue on the road.
On the road again. Doobie doobie doob doo.
The mountains, the sword mountains, are starting to loom above you as you make your way through the hills, getting closer to the base, and through these rocky hills, small mountains, you start to hear snarl off in the distance, off to the side of the road.
Which direction?
It's towards the mountains. So you are heading northwest. The mountains are to the north of you, due north, and it's like a little bit to that direction.
Okay. I don't know.
I guess we just have to wait and see what it is.
Do you continue on the path? Or do you go
I'm
off
gonna-
the path?
Well, I don't know if the snarl is on the path or off the path, so until I see what it is that's snarling.
It is off the path. So the road is straight ahead and it's to your right.
Well, I don't want to seek it out. I don't know about the others, but
Seek it out. Seek it out.
This is choose your own adventure. Do you continue down the road or do you follow the sound of the snarling?
I
I just saw your creature up top there.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh,
Isn't that a
okay.
terrifying creature?
Yes.
Zoom into it. It's gnarly. I'm gonna name him Gregory.
My God. He's very lanky.
I'm there. Okay. He's got a lot of teeth.
He's got huge fangs.
He's got huge fangs.
For the size of what that mountain is, yeah, that's a pretty big thing.
He's a spooky guy.
Gregory.
Gregory, get off of the mountain! You'll scare the tourists! Okay.
Job done.
Job's done. You said we hear snarling.
Yes.
I'm going to say let's keep a close group.
Good for club.
Let's keep a close group. That sounds like there could be wolves by.
Okay. you continue on the path. The sound of the snarling seems to get more frantic.
Interesting. And we can't see anything. We just hear it.
No, you do not see anything yet.
Okay. Just guess. Keep going.
Keep going. All right. So you follow the road up and leave the sound of the snarling behind you as it fades off in the back around one of the hills. And you walk for some distance until Paven kind of gets his pack like feeling a little loose. All right, so we're gonna have to go off the beaten path. I know, since the road goes further on to Neverwinter, but we need to go to the Stored Mountains first. So let's just head off on this trail into the caves of the Sword Mountains. And he starts walking off of the road, and you can kind of see that there's a bit of path that he's following, though it's pretty rocky.
Okay.
Guess we will follow.
All right,
This is the way.
this is the way. So you go follow the path. It winds throughout these rocks. You start to see boulders that have fallen off the mountain and made quite an impact on the ground below. And you're weaving past these stones. The hills are now becoming small mountains, just looming overhead, and the largest of the Sword Mountains comes closer until it peaks over you, and through all this rubble in front of you, you see sort of a medium-sized cave. It's like 8 feet tall and like 10 feet wide. All right, so this was the safe part of our journey. We're now gonna have to head inside to get our delicious mushrooms. So this is the final point. If you want to turn back, that's okay. Unfortunately, you won't get your payment leading me to this point. Are you all ready to head inside?
I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. And Paven walks into the mountain. You make your way into this cavern. Light behind you starts to dim as you leave the sunlight and the outside air behind. And Paven will pull out from his pack a sort of a foot-long mushroom, pretty hefty stalk, and he will do a little flicker, and a light will appear on the cap of the mushroom as if it's a torch, and he will walk inside. The cave takes a little bit. You travel for about 20 minutes to a half an hour before it starts to open up into a much larger area. You were so young.
Well, he'll be back. We'll see him again, I'm sure. Is this a mushroom?
No, sometimes there are some rock formations that form underground when a lot of pressure is applied to it, and they become these crystals, and sometimes the crystals break out of their own rock formations and have this
Why?
beautiful display.
Why is it glowing?
Oh, that's the torch, reflecting light from the torch light onto the crystal.
I want to take a crystal.
You gain 1 quartz crystal.
Woo! Hey, I can sell this to some hippies.
Claim it has healing properties.
They'll use it for their chakras or whatever.
Whatever the hell they use it for.
Whatever they use it for. I don't know. Something about blood moons or when they're on their period. I don't know.
Something like that.
Something. 1 quartz crystal. Put it in my backpack. My precious.
Alright, so Haven continues on into these caves. It seems like when you come across a path that is just an offshoot of what the main cavern that you are on, Paven will take it as if he knows exactly where he's going, like he's been this way before. And the light from the torch flickers off the walls. Occasionally you'll see a stream of water glisten on the cave walls as you make your way through. You'll also see a few like little creatures, maybe a small lizard or some insects that are crawling away from the light as you trek your way into these caves. Would you like to do anything while you're in these caves now?
I want to cast dancing lights.
Okay. 4 orbs appear around you. What's marching order as well? Paven's in the front.
Probably 3rd.
I'll be 4th.
I'll be 2nd.
And I guess I'm first.
Gwynnestari, you're in the front.
Well, no, I'm behind Paven.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Then I'm behind Delta? Or who am I behind? I don't care where I'm at.
Like that?
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay.
Alright. So, you continue to walk on, and as you're trekking into these caves, occasionally you'll hear water flowing off in the distance down one of the cave routes that breaks off from the main cave that you're on. And Paven is winding and weaving through these tunnels without even missing a step, just going straight in one direction, not second guessing at all. And he says, "Alright, so we're pretty far down now. Once we hear like anything super like eerie at all, I'm gonna have to put out this torch. So get ready with your lights as well. We don't want to be seen by creatures that can like see our light approaching. Is that okay with you, or should I keep the light on?
That sounds like a good plan. Although
Yeah.
I have a feeling most of them may be able to see in the dark, but maybe if we get cornered, we can kind of sneak up and then turn our lights on and kind of blind them for a second.
That is true. If they can see in the dark, one of the other friends can let us know if they've spotted us, and we can turn our lights on so that we have not quite such a disadvantage when it comes to defending ourselves.
Good plan. But just in case, we'll still turn our lights off in case maybe they don't see it. They don't, maybe they'll just go past.
Yeah, sounds good. The element of surprise.
Surprise!
Surprise!
It's a party!
Remove the party badge. Happy birthday! Creatures are like, oh,
You remembered.
never.
All right. So you wind and weave, and occasionally you'll hear like a little skitter off in the distance, as if something is creeping around, but nothing gets too close. And after a little bit of time, you'll hear the sound of a voice kind of speaking off in the distance. I think only one of you understands or even knows what kind of language it is.
Ooh. Is it deep speech?
Let me get my languages out. Guryev, you notice that the language of Undercommon is being spoken.
Interesting.
Though it's quite silent, you aren't really picking out much of words. You kind of recognize the dialect and the accent. As you walk deeper, the sounds of the voices get louder. Guryev, you start to pick up a couple of words. It sounds kind of like, quickly move the spores deeper. We need to get them back to base.
Very interesting. Okay. Could I maybe kind of tell what kind of creature would speak like that?
Roll a history. You know that this language is used by very few creatures. And
Well, I was just okay.
and you would know that this is probably a drow. Drows are probably the most common to use Undercommon that you know of.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I kind of relay that information to the party then.
Should we be concerned?
I don't know. I never actually really had to deal with one before, so this could go either way.
Hmm.
Seems like they are preoccupied, though. Well, probably as long as we don't bother them, they might not bother us. No guarantees, though. That is for certain.
All right. You hear these voices? Should we put out our lights?
I think, yes. Well, it doesn't matter if we put the lights out, they will still see us anyway.
Oh, all right. Well, let's keep them on. We don't want to not be able to see them either.
Anything that lives down here is very good dark. So,
All right. Okay. Let's keep moving. Keep our eyes open for anything.
yes. Let's.
And you continue on. The caves suddenly open up into a much larger cavern. You can see that there are sudden drop in front of you, a cliff edge with a bunch of paths that lead to various sort of rock points that lead you throughout this area. So, like, huge area. In front of you, there is a larger circle rock that has the drop around it, and you can see wooden paths that lead to other of these rock points. And Paven just heads straight over one of the wooden paths onto the rock points.
Okay.
And various outcroppings of groups of mushrooms are connected to the sides of the rocks. They seem to glow and give off their own light as you pass by them. And as you make your way to a larger one of these platforms, in front of you is a large spore that just appears in the light of Paven's torch. It looks like it's just this bulbous plant thing with an eye in the middle, and then several mushrooms that seem to be growing off the top of it. It is floating in midair. It will slowly turn towards you as the light shines on its side.
Fancy.
Okay.
Guess just kind of watching it then.
Oh,
That's so beautiful.
Paven will put his
look at-
his mushroom torch into his other hand and say, "Oh, be careful of these ones. These aren't the kind that you want to be just eating or touching at all. Like, don't even come close to it. If it gets close to this fire, it could kill us all. So, be careful not to get too close to it. And he'll make a wide berth around it. What was that, Khalas?
I think I had a dream about one of them. A different life, perhaps.
Oh, I've had those kind of dreams too. Almost real. But no, these are very real. Like, don't get any close to them at all. And he'll make his way around and continue on to the other rocky paths. And when you get to the center of one of the larger ones, you hear that voice from before. Who is there? Get ready. There is someone here.
Is like Paven just like being as loud as possible?
He's not being as loud as possible, but he's just kind of like looking around, not really noticing. It kind of sounds like deep guttural hisses to everyone who doesn't speak Undercommon. Somebody might mistake it for wind blowing through these caves.
Okay. I guess at this point I'm gonna say, you guys, like, I'm gonna whisper. It's like, you guys need to chill out. You're making way too much noise. They know that we are here.
Who's
Still
they?
don't know what. Still, I don't know what it is. We don't want to deal with them. We should be a little more quiet. I'm gonna call out an undercommon and just change, I guess, where I was going, and say that we don't want any harm. We just came for the mushrooms. Is that okay, or should we leave?
When you call out in Undercommon, you start to hear the sound of some skittering happening around.
Okay. Don't
The
see anything.
the sound of like these legs hitting rock seems a bit larger than what you heard when you first came in to these caves. And Paven like has his torch out to like try and see as far as he can into the darkness. And as he has his torch out and swings it around, you see the figure of a large spider directly in front of you.
Does the spider talk?
It will reel back from the fire that is suddenly in its face and move its legs up and start to hiss at you. And I want everyone to roll for initiative.
Wait. Stop it.
Oh no. What the heck?
What the heck?
What the heck?
Oops,
I just
I
see
didn't take my token.
I just see black screen.
Oh, you do?
Ew.
I can see it.
I'm all the way zoomed out. All I see is black.
I don't know.
Same.
I see stuff.
There you go.
Wow.
Maybe I need to refresh.
No, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Alfie, if you need to leave, it's okay.
I'll be right back. 1 second.
Okay.
I have to pee.
Actually, before you go, I think we'll end it here tonight. We want to end a little bit early. Some people are kind of tired.
You want to give Alfie nightmare fuel?
Yeah. We'll save that for next
There's
week.
no actual pictures.
Yeah, that one's it's token and it's fine. It was terrifying that it was like a group of them, and there was no like little token ring, so it just was the background moving.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. That one was so creepy.
Yeah, that.
That one.
Oh God.
Sorry.
All right, well I'm gonna go.
We're done.